Are cats smarter than dogs? Are felines more brilliant? Canines learn and react to orders, felines generally don't. Be that as it may, felines are crafty trackers with an endless interest. To settle this discussion, PBS NewsHour offered the conversation starter to three researchers, a neuroscientist, a canine cognizance master and a feline conduct and insight analyst. At the point when one of these researchers included the synapses in these creatures, there was an unmistakable champ. In any case, the most recent social exploration on creature insight challenges all our outdated thoughts on being shrewd. Canines have more nerve than felines. Neuroscientist Susanna Herculano-Housel contemplates creature insight by diving profound into dark matter. She liquefies creature minds to tally their neurons. Furthermore, what she's found is that canines have twice however many neurons as felines. Neurons measure and send data all through the focal sensory system. Herculano-Housel's group counted the quantity of neurons in the cerebral cortex, the wrinkly external layer of the mind, of different species. The cerebrums had a place with 8 flesh-eating well-evolved creatures, felines and canines, alongside ferrets, mongooses, raccoons, hyenas, lions and earthy-colored bears. The examination was distributed in late 2017 in the diary Frontiers in Neuroanatomy. These were minds of effectively dead creatures gave by a zoo, a timberland safeguard, a natural life recovery office and a few pet proprietors. The method, created by Herculano-Housel and initially used to uncover the quantity of neurons existing in the human cerebrum, breaks up the mind and condenses every neuron. Once mushed to an unfiltered squeezed apple consistency, just free coasting cores from neurons stay in the mind soup, which a scientist would then be able to check. This strategy assisted the group with finding that canines have around 530 million neurons in the cortex, while felines have around 250 million. For point of view, the human cortex contains 16 billion neurons. Herculano-Housel said it's conceivable even little canines, similar to chihuahuas or corgis, have a bigger number of neurons than felines. Then, at that point the legitimate ramifications is that, indeed, canines are considerably more competent than felines, Herculano-Housel said. Past canines and felines, the group tracked down a couple of shocks among different creatures. For instance, the biggest creatures in the pack, the hyena, lion and earthy-colored bear, had less neurons than the more modest ones. Neuroscientists since quite a while ago proposed that cerebrum size may demonstrate more intelligence. Read, the greater the mind, the more astute the creature. However, Herculano-Housel's group found that bears had similar number of neurons in their cortex as felines. Another amazement in their exploration came from raccoons, those astute veiled crooks. The raccoon mind is the size of a feline cerebrum, however it holds however many neurons as a dog's. The proportion of the raccoon's cerebrum size to its number of neurons looks like that of some primate minds. The exceptionally enormous number of neurons that we found in the raccoon cortex fits pleasantly with the legend about raccoons, Herculano-Housel said. The exceptionally enormous number of neurons that we found in the raccoon cortex fits pleasantly with the legend about raccoons. Herculano-Housel's group likewise saw neuron numbers in herbivores gathered by different gatherings since they presumed brushing required less energy and intellectual competence, hence less neurons. In any case, they discovered herbivores stuffed however many neurons as their flesh-eater partners. A similar equilibrium applied when they analyzed trained versus wild creatures. This proposes that cerebrum size doesn't make any difference. Development and reproducing didn't support an animal types or body size when it came to neuron check. Knowledge comes in any measured bundle, Herculano-Housel said. Ranges of insight. Brian Hare, the organizer and overseer of Duke University's Canine Cognition Center, is mindful when setting species in opposition to one another in the knowledge banter. Bunny said numerous researchers keep away from the term since knowledge is regularly concentrated from a human-driven point of view. Asking which species is more brilliant resembles inquiring as to whether a mallet is a preferred apparatus over a screwdriver. Hare, who didn't add to Herculano-Housel's investigation, said by means of email. Each apparatus is intended for a particular issue, so obviously it relies upon the issue we are attempting to tackle. Every species has been molded by advancement to tackle the issues generally basic to its endurance and proliferation, he proceeded. Seeing a dolphin sitting in a tree looks as senseless as a chimpanzee fishing in the ocean. However, research shows that the two dolphins and chimps are masters in their regular living spaces. So how could researchers approach contemplating creature insight without an order of knowledge? A ton of what we definitely think about knowledge in different species falls on a slope or range, said Kristen Vitali-Shreve, a feline cognizance and conduct research individual at Oregon State University. Think about chasing capacities, for instance. Felines sit on the gifted finish of the range, while canines sit in the center and people close to the low end. Yet, on the off chance that we test the three on math, people shift toward the savvy side while canines and felines move away. At the end of the day, we ought to try not to set various species in opposition to one another in light of the fact that they're shrewd in an unexpected way. In any case, Vitali-Shreve said we need similar investigations to perceive how by and large practices identify with the physiology of the mind, especially with what we currently think about the neuron amounts in various cerebrums. Vitali-Shreve and Herculano Housel both said that it's hard to contemplate knowledge utilizing social investigations, which regularly include on creatures performing errands or tackling puzzles. Additionally, not many examinations have straightforwardly thought about canine and feline comprehension, and truth be told, just a modest bunch of scientists study felines by any stretch of the imagination. Vitali-Shreve said until researchers track down the right techniques to explore canines and felines together, it's truly not reasonable for make examinations. There's this impression of felines being untrainable or possibly difficult to work with, Vitali-Shreve said. There's this impression of felines being untrainable or possibly difficult to work with. In outline, insight is a nuanced and muddled thing. Yet, Herculano Housel has a message she'd prefer to convey to every pet proprietor. Kindly love your felines and canines the same however much you need, she said. Kindly love your felines and canines the same however much you need,